In this video, we're going to build a page using only components. We'll talk about what components are, we'll build from a page template, then we'll go over building from a blank page, make changes to components, send changes to our team for approval, and we'll talk about some best practices to ensure we are set up for success. We don't need to know how components are built. That's a job for the web team you're working with. You just need to know how to use them. And by the end of this video, you will. Let's talk about what components are. Components are pre-built, reusable design elements that our web team has already created and approved. Hopefully. Think of them in two categories: full section components and content blocks. Full section components are use case specific and ready to drop in as is. Things like hero sections, feature sections, nav bars, and footers. Content blocks are more modular. Individual pieces like cards, list items, and logos that get combined to build out a full section. Each component has a consistent structure and style that's locked in by your web team. And that's actually a good thing. It means you don't have to worry about every little pixel and color, and you can focus on creating a great experience for your page visitors. Think of components less like guardrails and more like puzzle pieces that are already designed to fit together. Most marketers don't want to build sections from scratch anyway. They just want to assemble a page and move on. Components let you do exactly that. Fast and always on brand. Let's talk about static page templates. If you need to build a new page from scratch, always check first. Does a template exist for this? Static page templates are pre-built page structures your web team has set up for common page types. Landing pages, event pages, campaign pages, page pages, and so on. Starting from a template means the layout is already in place. The page slots are already positioned. All you need to do is fill them in with the right components and update the content. The structure is done, you're just making it yours. What do we do if we need to start a page from scratch? If no template exists for what we're building, we can start from a blank page. A blank page still comes with a page slot, and we can see it here in the middle of the canvas. So the same rules apply, we're just assembling the layout ourselves. To add a component, let's open up the components panel. We can find the one we want, and if we want to preview it, we can hover over it. And we're going to drag this directly onto the page slot. It snaps right in. Now within the component that we've just dropped in, we can see the component slots, the designated drop zones where you can place and swap other components. This gives us flexibility to adjust the layout or add more content without breaking the overall design. And once a component is on the page, we'll configure it through its properties. These are the editable fields your web team has intentionally exposed. Things like headline copy, body text, button labels, images, and link destinations. Now that we have components on the canvas, let's go over making changes to a component. We have a few options. We can click on the pencil icon at the top of the component. We can click directly on the content in the canvas to edit it there, or use the properties panel on the right-hand side of the canvas. The one exception is if our web team has explicitly made something non-editable. In that case, we won't be able to touch it, regardless of where we click. Remember, we'll only see the fields your web team has made available. Everything else, the layout, the spacing, the fonts, the colors, that's all locked inside the component. If we need something that isn't in the properties panel, that's our signal to loop in the web team, not to try and work around it. Now we'll move on to reviewing and approving our work. You can publish a page with a click of a button, and one more click of a button. However, if you do not have publishing access, you'll need to send the design changes to your web team, and they can approve and publish. Okay, before we wrap up, let's go over some best practices. Some components come with a variants dropdown in the properties panel. Our web team may have set up alternate versions of a hero or a primary and secondary button, all from a single component. If you're working on a page at the same time as a teammate, keep an eye on the presence indicators in the top right corner. Webflow does have conflict resolution, but it's still worth paying attention to who else is on the page. A quick check-in before jumping in goes a long way. And finally, when our web team makes changes to a component, those changes automatically roll out to every instance across the site, including pages you've already built. And that's it for this lesson. We covered a lot. We talked about what components are, from full section components to modular content blocks. We walked through building from a page template and building from a blank page. We made edits to components both on the canvas and through the Properties panel, sent changes to our team for approval, and went over some best practices to keep us building fast and confidently. But that's using components for marketers in Webflow.